Okay, strings we are somewhat familiar already, because in some lab programs we created we created the variable for storing a string, and we took the data from the user and displayed it back. In our topic on inputs and outputs, there also we dealt with strings. Basically in C there is no built-in data type for storing a string. There is no built-in data type called a string. And how we are managing is that to store a string we create character arrays. Anyway, a character variable can store single character, and character array is a collection of character variables, and to store a string is basically a collection of characters. So because of that, what we do is we create a collection of characters in the form of a character array and store strings in a character array. That is how we normally do. Okay. String is a sequence of characters treated as a single data item or a single unit. Sequence of characters treated as a single unit. Example is anything you put within double quotes is a string in C. Anything. This is a string constant actually. Whatever you put within double quotes. So this is also another string. Okay. Now double quotes are not part of the string. Okay. Just to indicate that it is a string, we use double quotes. The data part is this much characters only. Okay. Now if I simply put int, we cannot treat it as a string. It is a keyword in C program. So but if you put it in double quotes, we treat it as not keyword, we treat it as a string constant. Okay. So these are examples of string constants. Now how do we store? We create character arrays. Char space name of the array. So now in this character array we can store up to 20 characters, right? The size of the array is 20 characters. Okay. So and we can store up to 20 characters. So a string as long as 20 characters can be stored in this essentially. Okay. So this much we know already, and we can have a small example program how we create and store a string. So we do the same thing, 20 characters, scanf, we accept it from the user, percentage s, since it is a character array or string, we are going to read a string, we use percentages and give name. Since it is character array, ampersand is not required, or string we are reading, ampersand is not required. Okay, we display it back. Name percentages, the array name. So this much my previous program was not terminated. Okay. Okay, I think it did not compile, some issue. No, we are here. Oh. I typed the program in the wrong place. Yeah. So I should be typing it here. Name Rohan. Okay. Now I will do the step-by-step execution. Name is not having any value now. It is garbage. When it is not initialized with any value, it will have garbage value. And we are getting into the scanf function. Here I am going to I press enter. What is that? Yeah, I press enter. So that is coming here. Whatever data I entered is coming here in this name. So since it is character array, it is not displayed as an array as such. It is shown as a single name or single variable, which is in fact an array. So the value I entered Rajesh is stored. R will be stored in name Rajesh. R will be stored in at index 0. A will be stored in index 1. J will be stored in index 2. Like that, it will be stored in the consecutive locations. Consecutive locations. And after that, I print it back. Okay, this is how normally we use character array for storing a string and processing or accessing that string. As of now, we don't do any processing. We just access the value and print it, display it back. That much is done. Okay, there are many operations related to strings. Whenever we talk about strings, there are many operations. One operation is taking input, reading or input. Okay, or writing strings or output. That is one basic operation which already we have seen. Reading input or writing output. Then another operation, if we have two strings, we can combine them, combining two strings to create a single string. Then copying strings, create a copy of a string. Okay. Then comparing strings, compare two strings and decide alphabetically which should be coming first, or which should be coming second. That is what comparing. Searching for a string. These are some of the operations related to strings. With integers, we know there are some operations. We can divide, multiply, or subtract, add, etc. Some of the common operations related to strings, these are the some of the common operations related to the string. So in this topic, we will learn how to do some of these operations, how to combine strings, how to create copy of string, how to compare. This is interesting. How to compare two strings. Comparing two numbers, we know int n1, n2 are there, which do n greater than n2, n1 greater than n2, or n1 less than n2, or n1 is equal to n2. Like that, we compare using relational operators. But strings cannot be compared using relational operators. So we need to have some functions for that. So we will learn all about all these things in this topic. Okay, so we'll meet in the next class. And again, reminding you about the assignment. Monday means what I'm expecting is by Monday morning. So that weekend you are utilizing, by Monday morning you are submitting the assignment. I will create it in the Google Classroom. You need to submit against that Google Classroom assignment. Okay, there will be a deadline. You will see there, and people who are submitting after the deadline, there will be penalty on the marks. This will be for 5 marks for your CI. Okay, remaining 5 marks I will give the second part of the assignment. With that, we will stop today's class. See you in the next class. Thank you.